News Republic. We start this edition with the top focus story, which is about the External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar's visit to China. And remember, this comes after 5 long years. And in the same, we've got fresh pictures of the External Affairs Minister who is meeting the Chinese Vice President Zheng ahead of the SCO Foreign Ministers Meeting. That's the crucial meeting that has already begun early morning today. All eyes are now on what will actually be discussed as far as the India-China ties are concerned. Remember, China hitting its foot with the axe has already said that the Tibet issues remain a thorn in the India-China ties and that it needed to be solved, and that the Dalai Lama issue is an internal matter, and thereby reiterating what they have already said in the past. However, India and Tibet have made their position amply clear, saying that the succession of Dalai Lama will be decided by the Dalai Lama's office himself. In fact, Senior Executive Editor Abhishek Kapoor is joining us on the phone line on that. Abhishek, early morning visuals of Jaishankar meeting the Chinese VP in Beijing. What are we looking forward to as far as the meet is concerned?
Well, you see, there has been a bit of a provocation just yesterday with a spokesperson of the Chinese embassy in New Delhi calling the Dalai Lama issue or the Tibet issue as a thorn in India-China relationship. But there are many thorns in India-China relationship at this juncture, Pakistan being another one, China's double standards on terrorism, another one, and Chinese manipulation of trade relations, another one. So I think there are a lot of issues that both sides have on the table to discuss. And remember, this is the first visit of S. Jaishankar to China post-Galwan, which is like it is happening after 5 years. This is the first visit of Jaishankar to China after the Operation Sindoor, where India has made it amply clear that the Chinese were fully involved on the side of Pakistanis, like live helping them, in real time helping them. And this is also the first visit of Jaishankar after the 90th birthday of Dalai Lama, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, which happened just about a week back. And that ruffled some Chinese feathers. So I think it's significant that this meeting is finally happening in the SCO or on the in that platform. The Chinese have really been in a tango with Pakistan, and because of which a joint statement was not possible last month when Defense Minister Singh had gone to participate in the Defense Ministers Meeting. Like this is the Foreign Ministers Meeting in which External Affairs Minister has gone to participate in. So I think there are a lot of bilateral issues which would be on the table, and this meeting is taking place with the Vice President now, of course, and then there would be a meeting with the Foreign Minister on the sidelines of the SCO Foreign Ministers Meeting, which is in Tianjin. This meeting, of course, happening in Beijing.
Right, absolutely, Abhishek. In fact, the statement that they have just issued, the Chinese embassy in the national capital, saying that the only thorn in India-China relation remains to be that of the Tibet issue, thereby saying that the succession of Dalai Lama stays an internal matter. And do you think by saying that, yet again, they have actually gone ahead to hit the axe on their foot?
Well, Tanisha, so obviously the kind of statement that's come in and the kind of straight-jacketed, tightly controlled system that's there in China and the communist state, what the spokesperson here has said is clearly a reflection of what Beijing is thinking on the issue of Tibet and the connection with Dalai Lama, who's been India's guest for the last 6 decades and more. So, I mean, official Indian position has not evolved. It's just that since Dalai Lama has hit 90 years of age, and he had said that when he turns 90, he would make an announcement on his reincarnation, which he has done, and made it clear that his successor would be someone from outside China, born in free world and not in Chinese control. That's between the Tibetan community and the Chinese to thrash out. Since the Dalai Lama has been our guest for these decades, we cannot throw him out. And he's a spiritual leader of the community. If the Chinese are not able to handle that, it's Chinese problem. So for them to be making that now an issue between India and China despite the fact that India's official position on Tibet has not evolved. The last time it evolved was during 1999-2000 period, when India said, okay, fine, Tibet autonomous region is part of China, and since then officially our position has not evolved. So there is nothing that Chinese should be complaining or could be complaining, but then they did, because obviously they have a situation to handle, which is that their collusion and complete cohabitation with Pakistan during Operation Sindoor, their real-time support to Pakistan during Operation Sindoor is an issue on the table. So maybe they want to just turn around the dialogue, or maybe have one more lever to talk about. But obviously that's a non-starter, given the kind of double standards China has maintained. Also, most importantly, despite the understandings reached between the two leaders, Prime Minister Modi and President Xi Jinping, in Kazan on the sidelines of the BRICS summit last year, we are seeing the Chinese continuing to manipulate on the trade aspect of the relationship also. They have been throttling the supply of fertilizers, particularly the DAP or the phosphatic supplies in the last 5-6 months. They have recently withdrawn their engineers from the Foxconn facility in Chennai, about 300 of them who were helping in the Apple manufacturing. So obviously that kind of manipulation, be it the supplies of rare earths, which China has done with the rest of the world also, or the phosphatic supplies, fertilizer supplies, which China has done specifically to India, or the withdrawal of these engineers. Obviously China is looking at India as some kind of threat and trying to, throttle and constrain our economic growth. So those are issues that need to be discussed and should be discussed, and perhaps would be discussed when External Affairs Minister is in Beijing and Tianjin over the next day and a half.
Absolutely, Abhishek. Thank you very much again for sharing all those updates. We quickly move across to the other breaking news that we are getting in. And ladies and gentlemen, this